Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Human music. I like it. I like it.
we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is time for another episode of the Palaver. It is Monday, June 18th, and I am so happy that you're here, and I am so happy to be back. And I am joined by the wonderful, the fabulous, the puggerific, the ultra-talented, the real Baggins. Hello, sir. How are you?
The real one, that's right. Thanks, Rep. I appreciate that kind intro, man. I'm so happy to be here with you, and doing good.
I have a
How
question.
about yourself?
Well,
Sure.
I'm doing well. But I got a question right off the bat. Is there a fake Baggins that's out there that pretends to only your glory and doesn't understand?
There is a fake Baggins. I actually met him on Xbox. He's a real person, and we had a long conversation about our names, and he became a friend for about a year.
Well, there you go. Oh, you know what? I'm
So
sorry. I just realized I've got your voice volume way too low. Give me 1 second. Oh, such a failure as a host.
Audio issues, huh?
Audio, dude.
The plague of us all.
I mean, you're a fellow streamer. Let me ask you something. I always tell people the number one hardest thing for me when it comes to streaming is getting my audio levels right. Do you feel it? Do you know the struggle?
Oh, all the time. Actually, you've come into my channel a couple of times and helped me fix my audio issues. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, Squidly Marie just came in and she's whooping. I love Squidly Marie. I don't know if you know her. But yes.
I love whooping.
Yeah, it's addictive, right? It's like whoop whoop. It's just so much fun. It's just an affirmation. Right. Yeah, I think it was actually not even too long ago I came in and I was like, hey, just so you know, something is off audio wise, and we worked on it. You know, like
the audio desync when I used XSplit is what it was. XSplit is a very technical challenge, to be honest with you. It took me a long time to learn it, and then I hesitated with OBS. Now I have OBS, and things are pretty simple.
I mean, I've only ever used OBS primarily. I tried out Bebo. I don't know if you've ever seen Bebo, but I don't like it. I don't like it as much. It's supposed to be better for system resources and hogging your resources, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Squidly Marie is right. She did a sort of a podcast type thing recently, and I came in and right at the start, audio was off, and I'm like, oh god.
Here we go again, right? It is the challenge of, I think audio is the hardest challenge, or not dropping frames.
But there's nothing you can do. If you're dropping frames, it's because your internet's cutting out or whatever, right? Like audio issues you should be able to fix. I think the thing that annoys me the most about the audio issues is it's like you'll have it set and it's perfect. Mm-hmm. And then the next day it's not anymore for no reason.
Right.
Like, I don't know. So anyways, everyone, this is of course the real Baggins. He is one of my personal favorite streamers to check out and watch when he's live. I love the guy. He's very entertaining, and he does. You can catch his channel at twitch.tv/TheRealBaggins. With that out of the way, I don't usually call you Baggins. I usually call you Puggers.
Puggers, TRB. You give me some TRB. Yeah, TRB. I really wanted to have TRB as like my personal slogan, but it just never caught on. And I had like a bunch of catchphrases I used. I won't say them on the podcast, but I had a bunch of catchphrases to go with it.
Why not?
Using TRB.
You can say anything you want here. I mean,
playing competitive Call of Duty, PUBG on a competitive scale, right? It's like I wanted TRB to be "That's right, bitch."
Ah. Yeah, that's fine. You can swear. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Believe me, it's fine. It's fine. TRB. I was trying to think, how can you work in "I had sex with your mother last night" into a TRB format, and I can't quite make that work as an acronym.
You drop that triple kill on him and slam him with the "That's right, bitch."
Makes sense. Dude, you know what? So, you play a lot of PUBG, and I love watching you play PUBG. And, you know what? I had this realization. I think I like watching good players play PUBG more than I like playing PUBG. Does that make any sense?
100%. I mean, I love watching guys like TSM This or Disrespect or Shroud, or I love watching those guys on a very high level in short bursts. It really invigorates you to wanting to play, or at least learning some strategies to playing better yourself. Seeing the little nuances of what they do, angles they take, it really helps out. And but I enjoy playing with the smaller streamers more, like Stewie13.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen? So you mentioned TSM, so obviously you know Team Solo Mid. On not Team Solo Mid, but Tempo Storm. Have you ever watched Me Luke?
No, I have not.
He's one of Me Luke, just like me Luke, no space, just Me Luke. Right. He's one of Tempo Storm's PUBG players. He's crazy good, and he's really good at keeping up with chat too. Like, he'll routinely have 100, 200 people in his chat. He keeps up with all of it as he's getting headshots from a mile away.
Right.
I'm like, how?
Yeah, the Kingwin guys are really good with that. If you ever watch them, this is their main source of income is to play PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
They want to earn 6 figures, so they play 17 hours a day, nonstop, every day, and their whole thing is their subscriber base is everything to them. Mm-hmm. So they're really grinding on keeping people entertained, not only with their gameplay but also with communication.
I'll have to check that out. It's so funny. I don't know what's going on with my lighting. I look very washed out compared to you. You have this beautiful rosy complexion and natural glow, and I'm looking at my monitor, and I've got this I look like I'm back from the dead with an important message. I don't know why. My colors are off.
Sounds like a really bad 80s commercial for Halloween candy. I'm back from the dead. Buy Kit Kats.
The sale on Mars bars is spooky. No. You know what I just recently got turned on to by fellow... Oh, so also, for those of you who don't know, TRB is also one of the mods in Team MZ. So, give me a little clap for that. A little clap.
Oh, yes. Yes, and bye.
But... also, I don't know if you know fellow mod Mummy Evil, and she just changed her name to Lisa is Evil for Real or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mummy Evil just turned me on to Realm Royale. Have you gotten a chance to check that one out?
I've actually watched it. Somebody you may know, Night Marcher, was just playing it with Mank, and another guy, little known guy named Shroud, was just playing it with Chad.
Little known streamer named Shroud.
Few people know him here and there. Surprised you heard of him, actually. But yeah, I like watching those guys play, but it's not the thing for me, I don't think. It's a very different style of Battle Royale. I may be interested in something like Ring of Elysium.
Yeah.
Which basically is a clone of PUBG.
My friend AJ desperately wants to buy a PC just because of Ring of Elysium. He is like, oh, why can't this be on Xbox? He plays PUBG on Xbox. He's good. I do have low latency mode on, yes, Locke. But I like Fortnite because of how quick the games are, compared to PUBG.
Okay. Sure.
But I can't get a hold of the building mechanic in Fortnite. Dude, I'm really kind of hooked on Realm Royale right now because it's got that speed factor of Fortnite without the building.
Right. And something about Realm Royale that's interesting is the mount system, so that you can jump on a mount, you can get away from the circle quickly. Not only that, you can upgrade your gear in the middle of the battlefield, right? The only downside is you're letting everybody out there know, hey, I'm here forging something. I don't have a vest or a helmet on right now.
Yeah.
So, there's some crazy situations that can come up at the forge.
Yeah.
So it's definitely enticing.
It is definitely a very there are a lot of plus and minuses to it. Like you mentioned the mounting system in Realm Royale. Dude, you can hear someone else on a mount from a mile away. Like that sound really carries, you know? Like if someone's riding their mount, you know a long time before they get to you that they're coming.
And there's another little kicker in Realm Royale where you can boost jump, 50 feet in the air and butt slam essentially like a Super Mario's Bro character and knock somebody with that, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I think that's dependent. So there's classes in the game, right?
Okay.
And different each class has their own specific movement ability. Like two of the classes, I know the engineer and I think one other, they go up instead of going like forwards. The most versatile is the mage, who can actually fly for limited periods of time, so they can move in any direction, but they sort of have the weakest other abilities. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's this weird trade-off. So, I don't know, but it's fun. I don't know.
Right.
It's no PUBG. Let's be honest.
It's different. And the battle royales keep coming, right? So now we're gonna have Battlefield Battle Royale, and then we're gonna have Call of Duty Battle Royale. So it's like, everybody, and once these AAA titles really drop in a battle royale, it's over. I mean, a AAA title is not gonna mess it up. Yeah. It's going to be very well tested, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be patched very quickly, which I think is incredible.
Locke mentions in chat and says Gears of War Battle Royale was announced at E3.
Oh my god.
So.
Chainsaws about?
I don't know. I've never played Gears of War, so I don't know.
I played Gal 1, the original online multiplayer, and me and my brother at the time were ranked 1 and 2 in the world. And then they did a big update. Leaderboards got scrapped, and we're like, we're not grinding this again. It's game over, man.
Game over, man. And Artemis says Battlefield 5 Battle Royale. I don't know. I think one of the things I like about PUBG is it feels a lot more realistic than every other Battle Royale game. You know what I mean? Like obviously there's a lot of unrealistic aspects to it, but it feels pretty close.
I honestly love watching the bugs of PUBG. I know people hate them, right? Everybody wants them to be fixed, but here's the thing. It's the greatest YouTube montages out there. It's so good. So, I would say, don't fix all the bugs. I love the ragdoll when they fly out the windows for no apparent reason. Those types of things.
I saw one that just absolutely cracked me up. It was two people were on a bike, and the driver was getting shot at, and he got his health chunked down. He had like a sliver of health left. They hit a hill, and they went, that like 750 feet through the air, and they landed directly in a narrow window on the second floor house, and the bike crashed through the window, and they landed on the second floor, and they were like, what? And they dismounted, and the guy dropped and started bandaging. It's like, what are the odds that you couldn't plan that,
Yeah, I've seen it where two guys on a bike, they get hit by a grenade in the back tires, so they're doing a nose wheelie at this point. They slam into a building, they get out, but as soon as they get out, the bike flings up into the air about a 2-story height, then comes straight back down and crushes both of them.
So, perfectly
they survived.
realistic.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And it happens every day.
Perfectly realistic. I think you've been keeping up with this. So I just built my gaming PC, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And then this past Saturday, I just got my capture card, and that's all set up. Oh, I can't wait to do some PUBG and some Dead by Daylight and some Realm Royale. I'm going to be playing tomorrow.
There you go.
You and I like a lot of the same games. Have you ever played Darkest Dungeon?
I watched it, but I have not played it. I watched it, yeah.
New expansion for that comes out tomorrow, too.
Oh, nice. So, you got something else to look forward to, this new build of yours.
Well, I spent a lot of dough on the PC, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll hold off on buying the expansion. Let me let me dig myself out of credit card debt first, and then I'll start buying new games. You know,
You can always sell some of those Steam card collecting pieces and maybe get enough to buy it.
that's a good point.
It's what I do with my PUBG skins. So every once in a while, I'll get one of those $5-10 ones. I'll sell it because what's the use for me? And I'll buy one of those indie games. Support an indie guy who's solo working on his game, and try to help build the industry with more creative content.
I always say, hey, PUBG made me money. PUBG has made me money. I mean, I got into it in early access, and when they first offered the very first crates that had the keys, I bought as many of those as I could, held on to them for 7 or 8 months, and then sold them for like $8 a pop.
Yeah, Gamescom crates.
Yes, Gamescom.
They were about $1 a piece. I bought 20 of them for about $1, and about 2 weeks later, they were $7 to $8 a piece. So
Damn.
it's a huge. Yeah, I got PUBG the previous E3, and it was $14.99 Canadian. So it was like $10 US. It was nothing. So when I got it, and then all of the loot items that I had gotten, I'd say PUBG has made me significantly more than what it's cost me.
Now there's a limited time loot box in the market right now in PUBG, right?
There's several of them. There's 7 crates in total. There's an aviator one, which it's about $250 to open, American, and it's not really worth it. The items in there's only one that's of any value. What people want right now is the really high-end cosmetics for their guns. They haven't released a new batch yet, so once the new batch comes out, that'll be the new high demand.
Didn't they had what, Shroud and Doc each got weapon skins, right?
Right, so they're the first 2 official partners in PUBG for weapon skins. It's $10, not bad, and you get a full set of skins. It's not just 1 or 2 guns, you get a full set. So your M4, your Car 98. So essentially, for $20, if you like both their camos and you want to support both of those, they're currently getting 50% of those sales, and they're really, really nice looking artwork skins.
Here's a question.
Sure.
If they introduce a new gun down the road, does that automatically get added to the Shroud package, for example?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
So at least for the short-term future, there is 3 new weapons on the horizon. So there'll be a pistol added, another mid-range weapon, and a new type of shotgun. Most likely it's going to be an auto shotgun like an AA-12 or something along those lines, and then a mid-range assault rifle. So probably looking at something that will be just a little bit better than the M16 and a little bit worse than the M4.
And these are going to be coming out with the Sandhook, do you think? Or do you think they're going to hold on them until the winter map?
They're actually, from my reading, they were going to put it out around the end of August, beginning of September. So probably after Sandhawk and before winter.
All right. I thought one thing that was interesting, I can't remember who it was. It may have been Brendan, Player Unknown Green, that tweeted out, someone said, our footprint's actually going to be visible if you play on the winter map. And he goes, it's way too early to announce that. It's something we definitely want to do. We just don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if PUBG development could actually pull that one off. The reason being that AAA titles have a hard time doing it, and it is a very expensive development to put into place because there's a whole thing with the shadows, and can the GPUs handle it? Can it get encoded correctly? Can it transfer in an online multiplayer? I know that Star Wars Battlefield 2 did it well, the remake of that one when it came out. But I mean, you're talking about LucasArts and a company with $20 billion. You know?
I mean,
So-
we just we don't EA in my heart. We don't
EA?
We don't EA. We don't EA. I mean, especially you have to understand, dude. I don't know if you ever played the Mass Effect games. The Mass Effect games. Oh, so much love for the Mass Effect games, Dude, and what they did to Mass Effect Andromeda. The game was not right. It should have been pushed back another 6 months. But, you know, EA is like, no, got to meet our deadline. Go, push it out. And it wasn't ready.
Yeah, major corporations have an issue with that. With here's the deadline, get it done, no delay. So the one thing about that is a game like Anthem that why wasn't it this March? Well, they had to delay it a year. So in the back of my mind, I'm saddened by this fact, but very happy on a positive outlook. They knew they couldn't do it. They're not going to pull a Destiny 2 and give you half a game. So they're going to decide to push it back a year, take their time, get it right, and come out and show you what Destiny 2 could have been.
Yeah. I want to address that, but I do have a question from chat. Locke
Sure.
asks where you're from, because I think you mentioned Canadian, so it's probably...
Canadian, yeah.
Very vague.
I'm from the east coast of Canada, from New Brunswick, which is just north of Maine, and then now I currently live just north of New York in Toronto, in Ontario.
Toronto. You know, I don't know if you know this. I'm originally from what a lot of Canadians call Toronto South, which is Buffalo, New York.
I did know that. We had that discussion before. I've passed through Buffalo, and I've not done too much there, but they got football, they got a major hockey team, so it's a pretty cool place to stop by. Woo!
I love hockey.
You didn't say Bills? Come on,
Dude, I listen. The Bills, look, they're my hometown team, so of course it's like, yay, Bills. But whatever. Honestly, I never got that into baseball. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not a sports guy. But if I do pick one sport to watch, it's going to be hockey. I like hockey.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sabres.
If I had to pick anything sports-wise to watch, baseball. I gotta go baseball.
I always say I love going to a baseball game and sitting in the stands and drinking a beer and having a hot dog, and especially back when I was younger and I used to smoke cigarettes. You used to be able to smoke in the bleachers. You could sit there and smoke and have a smoke in one hand, a beer in the other. That's a good on a beautiful day. But other than that, I don't care for baseball.
You got a smoke in one hand, a beer, and somehow trying to hold the hot dog and eat it at the same time.
Well, yeah. you got to wait for the hot dog guy to come around, and I'll take a hot dog. You take one quick left, butt that out, and then you get your hot dog. So that's how you do that.
There's and you might be able to name it because you may know this comedian Leslie Nielsen. He had one, maybe it was Spy Hard, where he's at a ball game and he's got Cracker Jacks, a soda, and a cigar or something. He's got everything. He's just loaded up, and the hot dog guy comes around and he stuffs the hot dog with the foil in his mouth, and he's like, "There you go," and he's like, "Take a 20 from my pocket." And that's pretty good. I always enjoyed those old slapstick things.
Well, Leslie Nielsen was great at slapstick, and for some reason, it's not Spy Hard. It's The Naked Gun.
It's one of the Naked Guns?
Naked Gun. I'd be willing to bet.
Can you name them all? Can you name them? I'm putting you on the spot, Mr. Rev. Can you name all
I think
three?
it's like Naked Gun 2.5, and Naked Gun 3 1/3.
Oh, so close. 33 and a half.
33
and a quarter. 33 and a quarter. Yes.
Oh, damn. Sorry, I haven't watched those movies in forever, but...
Oh, me neither.
What can I...
Me neither.
What can I say? I'm going to use this opportunity to talk for a moment about... The other day I was able... So a lot of people don't realize twitch.tv/TMemzy, it's essentially basically me. I mean, Emma set up the account. She is the owner of the account, etc., but she doesn't do anything with it. It's just basically for the podcast, and that's it. The Friday Night Podcast. So anytime people see Team MZ talking, they're like, "I'm on." I'm like, "No, it's just me. I'm on the wrong page typing." But we got a chance to host Into You, not last Friday night, but the Friday before, right?
Yep.
And
it was a couple of weeks. Yep.
I tell people, I'm like, look, all you got to do to get a host from 50, 60 person host is be in Team MZ and be on the podcast. Start your stream at 8:30, and then spend half an hour there talking, and then And then when I go looking for someone, I'm like, let's see, who was at the podcast tonight? I don't know.
Yeah. I think the viewers of my streams on some Fridays, they get kind of annoyed because they can hear the full podcast crew in their ear and then PUBG on this side. And it's like, just which one am I supposed to be doing right now? Because I can't not listen to it.
I understand. Well, it's always appreciated whenever you come by. You're always so active and participating in chat. It's you know.
Well, there's a really good game with the podcast. So anybody in here watching right now, I try to switch between chats, but my favorite thing in game to play is to try to make D-Bok say the names incorrectly. Because the first time I met D-Bok, he said, "I got a question from the real Baggins." Yes. Baggins. So dude, since that day.
It must not be a hard game, because I'll tell you, man, I love the shit out of D-Bok, but that guy cannot read names. If you ever watch his stream, he gets a new follow and he's like, "Oh, thank you to Jalamoldi," and people be like, "Dude, it's Jello mold." Oh, Jello mold. Sorry. Dude, he just, I don't know if he needs glasses or what. He just can't read names. One day he made a huge game, like one day he just leaned into it, and he was just purposely reading everything wrong. It was after, what was it? I copied and pasted, and it said Twitch Prime, and then Grant Wilson 88.
Grant Wilson Prime.
Yeah, he goes, "We got a question coming in from Prime Grant?" No, Prime Grant Wilson? Like, he read it twice wrong. I'm like, dude, it's Grant Wilson.
Since that day, I mean, Grant is now an honorary Autobot.
That's right.
So, I mean, come on. Grant's not complaining.
No. Optimus Prime Grant Wilson. What's wrong with that? Prime Grant Wilson 88.
Amazing. And I'm stuck to the real beggings.
The real beggings. What are you begging for, sir?
Exactly. D-Bok needs to tell me.
All right. Let's get into the real shit. You ready? This is the important question.
Okay.
Where does the pug obsession come from? So for those of you who don't know,
natural love.
just love. For those of you who don't know TheRealBaggins, he uses pictures of the dog, the pug, everywhere.
That's true.
It's just
that's true.
Just like pugs, and that's it. Yeah. Does that guy have a name?
Yeah. So in order, hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction here. So that's Frank, the pug, and that's Stein, who's the some kind of puggle bear. So actually, Misfit Bear 92 named the second one. So we had Frank and Stein. I named this one after Men in Black, Frank, the pug.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Men in Black, one of my wife's favorite movies. And she loves Frank as well.
And Frank in number 2, he gets the suit, so he's a pug in black, and it's just, come on, forget about it.
Did you notice, by the way, so the dog that played Frank in the first 2 movies died in between the second and third movie? Like, the dog died. You know, it happens, unfortunately.
Happens.
But did you notice that they had 2 major references to Frank in the third movie?
I don't recall that they did.
When Jay is playing video games in his apartment, he's got a gigantic picture of Frank behind his head. And when he gets pulled over by the cops, when he goes back in time, there's like a picture of there's an advertisement for a carnival, and like there's a picture of Frank in that billboard that you can see.
Oh, nice.
So they put in 2 big.
Surprised I didn't notice the giant pug behind him. But it's been a decade since I saw that movie, at least.
Hey, they're worth rewatching, man. They hold up.
They do.
Up. You know.
Oh my God, it's a balls chinian.
I gotta be honest. I think I actually like the third one the best. My wife hates it when I say that. She's like, no, they go in order from best to worst. She goes 1, 2, 3, best to worst.
She's right, Rev. I'm sorry.
Dude, Josh Brolin plays such a good young Tommy Lee Jones, though. Josh Brolin is so good. Josh
Brolin's good in other roles, but not in Men in Black. He's not a
What?
sci-fi guy. Do you think? Do you think he's a sci-fi guy? He played the cowboy one where he's undead, right? Do you remember that movie? It's a comic book made into a movie.
The only one I can think of is R.I.P.D., but I don't think Josh Brolin was in that. That was
No, that's like a futuristic sci-fi. Chat probably knows.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. I don't remember which movie you're talking about.
It's just the name of the person.
Uh-huh.
It's just Jonah Hex. That's it.
Never saw that one. I'll have to check that one out. Dude, Josh Brolin was are you a comic book guy? Did you watch the new Avengers?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, I won't do any spoilers, but dude, Brolin is amazing as Thanos. He's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. Now I saw one of those, what if this movie was made in the 90s, right? And they did this current Avengers, all the characters as 90s very famous people. And they took Sam Jackson out of it. Like he wasn't around in the 90s. That bothered me. Because Sam Jackson was there, wasn't he? He's been an actor for more than 20 years.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was just timing out a troll there. I apologize. They took Sam Jackson out of the recent Avengers? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the concept was replace everybody in the Avengers movie with a famous person from the 90s. So instead of having Sam Jackson in the movie, they took it out and they put like Eddie Murphy.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
But that bothered me because Sam Jackson could have been there.
Like you could just leave. Yeah, but I guess the point is if you're replacing people, then you've got to replace him, right? Even though he was an actor. Dude, have you ever looked at Sam Jackson's IMDb?
Yeah, that's just every movie ever made. It's
like,
fine.
He's been in like 5 billion movies, give or take.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
If you couldn't afford Morgan Freeman, then you hire Sam Jackson, I guess.
I would take Sam Jackson over Morgan Freeman in a heartbeat, personally. But
there's a few different Sam Jacksons you get, right? There's the Sam Jacksons from that was in for Black Snake Moan, right? Where he character method act in this movie, where he learned to sing and play a banjo and really got into it. And then there's Snakes on a Plane. Using 2 Snake reference movies in back to back.
And I mean, who doesn't like Snakes on a Plane? Like, dude, some people shit on those types of movies. Like, I call them popcorn movies, okay? They're popcorn movies. They're just movies you go to and you don't think anything about it. You just sit there and eat your popcorn and enjoy it, and then you leave and you're done, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Snakes on a Plane is a great popcorn movie. Or like the Transformers movies. Or, well, let's be honest, anything by, what's his name, Explosion McGuy.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, yeah. Like, he just makes popcorn movies,
Sure. And that's great.
I love the fact that Snakes on a Plane... Dude, you've got to give credit to the producers and the creators of Snakes on a Plane, where the internet buzz wanted Samuel L. Jackson to say motherfucking snakes on the plane. And they went in and wrote it and refilmed it. So, like, when they went back and did reshoots, that scene where he says that in that movie was a reshoot because the internet wanted it.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like something to do, for sure.
I'm just saying, that's...
So if you had to list your top 3 popcorn movies, what are they?
Dude, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Because by the very nature of popcorn movies, it's like you sort of see them and then just forget about them. Like, they're just like, whatever, that was an enjoyable experience. You know what I mean? Honestly, dude, I liked the first Transformers movie. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so for me, the Transformers were, really...
Yeah.
And going along with Michael Bay, I think Gone in 60 Seconds was a Michael Bay movie, right? But Gone in 60 Seconds, I love that movie. It's pointless and stupid, but I love it.
Yeah.
With
some really bad acting.
Oh,
yep.
Terrible acting, but I like it.
Sure.
I don't know. I'll think of a third. How about yourself? Did you ask that because you have a movie in mind?
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna go with 3, and people are probably gonna Google them. So Double Team, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman co-star in that movie as the main two. I can watch that 1,000 times. For some reason, it just doesn't get old. It's so bad, it's good.
Okay.
The second one, Air Force One, Harrison Ford.
Get off my plane.
The overacting is so great in that one. And then the last one is Hot Shots Part 2 with Charlie Sheen.
Okay. You know what? You did make me think of my third, though. It's a movie I actually quote all the time. Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. That is a great popcorn movie. I like to refer to...
He's got the blowtorch right above the gasoline, and he's lighting his cigarette or his cigar. Dude, excellent.
It's so bad. I like to refer to it as the futuritarian documentary Demolition Man.
Taco Bell becomes the most high class restaurant in the world.
Dude, I used to say all the time, greetings and salutations. That's how I would always say hello. I'd be like, greetings and salutations. And people would be like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I never explained it, but in my head, every time I did that, I was... Because that's how they say hello in the future. They say greetings and salutations.
Yeah, of course. And do you use the 3 shells?
I don't know how to use the 3 seashells.
This guy doesn't know how to use the three seashells. That's Rob Schneider, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time since I saw that movie. But that's a stupid popcorn movie. That's just dumb.
It's a good one. It's a good one to be out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He comes out of cryogenic. He's knitting. He's doing crochet. I don't know. That's sort of.
And Wesley Snipes had like the martial arts package, that murder, kill, death, and that's what they called it in the future, right? You don't call it a murder. It's murder, kill, death.
Yes. Actually, I think it was murder, death, kill. MDK.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Seen it more than I think.
Yeah. I want to bump Transformers down off the list because I did just think of another one that I absolutely love.
That you could watch more repetitively.
Wait, why did it just leave my head? Never mind. Oh my god. How did it just... What is wrong with me?
Last thing was murder, death, kill.
Oh, it was before that, and then it just... Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't... I don't know. Whatever. How about this? Dude, have you ever... Here's a good one. Ready? Have you ever gone to see a movie and you're blown away by it, and then it comes out on video or on DVD, and you're like, this movie sucks?
Lord of the Rings.
Wow, that's a bold statement there.
Yeah. I watched it in theaters and I got fired up from it. I was like, man, this is the greatest thing. I want to go to Mordor. Right? And then you get the special edition. And you unwrap it, and then you find out it's 6.5 hours, and you're like, what the fuck? They're walking! Come on!
Like, come on, how about a little editing? Like, dude, that Lord of the Rings trilogy makes you realize why there is a very good reason that director's cuts are sometimes, like, why they cut things down. You know?
Yeah.
Like, not all of that shit needs to be shown. You know, sometimes you watch a director's cut, and you're like, why did they cut this out? And other times you watch a director's cut, and you're like, ooh, that part deserved to be cut.
And the book, I started with The Hobbit back in high school, and it was tiny, and that's not 3 movies.
No, it's
one.
They had to add in a whole nother character and a love story just to bulk it out to 3. It was a little weird.
I think we should all write angry letters to Peter Jackson.
Let's do it. No, I can't. I love the movies too much. Even the Hobbit being 3, which honestly, the Hobbit should have just been a 2-movie deal. You know,
there could have been 3 10-minute or maybe 30 minutes. So let's say an hour and a half. Yeah, three parts. Okay, so the Fellowship, 30 minutes. The Battle at Helm's Deep. And then the final, the whole epic journey into the ending scenes with Elijah Wood and.
Okay, so you're going back. You're going back to Lord of the Rings. I was saying for the Hobbit. Right. The Hobbit should have been 2 movies.
Oof, you could have even probably got through 1.
Well,
anything with the large scale battles is great. Keep it. The whole sitting around the fireplace smoking a pipe. Get rid of it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what movie didn't hold up for me. Daniel Day-Lewis back in the 90s was in a movie called Last of the Mohicans, it's pretty true to the story Last of the Mohicans. Dude, when I saw that movie in the theaters, it was like, it was mind-blowing. It was so amazing in the theaters, right? It was so good in the theaters. And I bought it on VHS. This just goes to show how old it was. I bought it on VHS, full price, the day it came out. And I was like, wow, what happened? And I realized this is a movie that was made for a big screen, and it doesn't translate to small screen.
And also, when they do cut it for home video, they sometimes take out key scenes that may not be thought of that actually increase the atmosphere or mood. And there's a lot of movies that get plagued by that, actually, where a key scene that could have changed the entire plot. It happened with Blade Runner. The original cuts for the theaters were different than what you got in home. And that's why people kept going back year after year with all these anniversary editions, because they re-added. 8 seconds doesn't sound like much, but when it's a key message to the undertone of the movie, can ruin it all.
Dude, Blade Runner is such a good movie. That's another one I watched. I watched Blade Runner not too long ago because I wanted to watch the new Blade Runner, but I was like, before I watch that, let me go watch the original because I know I like it. It still holds up. It's just one of those. It's like timeless. It holds up. You know.
There's a lot of those movies from back then that you can watch now that aren't that bad. The original RoboCop's one of them. I could watch that one again without batting too much of an eye on it. I mean, the opening sequence.
The special effects on RoboCop are a little rough, but I'll agree with you for the most part. Lucifer brings up the original Jurassic Park.
Oh, forget about it. It's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely holds up. 100%.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Was Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park 1? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, he's a smoking scientist, data analyst guy, you know?
Okay.
And he gets his arm chopped off by the raptor.
All right. Clever girl. Yeah, that movie's so good. This movie's so good. Yeah. One of my all-time favorite movies ever. Like, top 5 movies. Alien. The original Alien.
Just straight up Alien. No aliens.
Nah,
just Alien.
Just the first one.
Yep.
The first one.
Okay.
Absolutely Dude, and now Aliens doesn't hold up as well. Like, Aliens feels dated. If you watch the original Alien, it holds up way better than the sequel.
Well, here's the thing, and I actually watched them last October. So we're going to dig into a little nugget of information of personal life here. So every October for the last 10 years, I have watched a horror movie every day in October from the 1st to the 31st. It's always different, and it's never the same thing twice. So every year I use Cinemassacre, which is a website hosted by James Rolfe. He's a filmmaker, and I follow along with what he's watching. Now, if he had a movie that I'd already seen, for example, like Trolls, The Mummy Returns, and those ones, I go out and find my own or get some suggestions from people I know. And last year in October, I did Aliens, etc. And I don't know, the creepy atmosphere of Alien 1 versus the cerebral impact of Aliens, because they were different. There's totally different things going on.
They're totally different movies.
Yeah, and then the third, and then the cinematic ending, of the third movie is pretty crazy. But I just saw some Lucky Boy, Point Break. Wow. There we go.
Dude,
surfs.
I don't like scary movies, and I definitely don't like scary. I don't like scary video games. But I streamed the entirety of Alien.
Insurrection.
Insurrection. Wait, is it Insurrection? Isolation. Alien.
Isolation.
Yeah, Isolation. Dude,
Insurrection's the actual title of a movie.
Yeah. Dude, Alien Isolation is such a good game. It's such, and the reason it's such a good game, it captures that feel of the original Alien. It does such a good...
Right.
And towards the end, it really dips into Alien 2, you know?
Okay.
But for most of the game, it feels like you're playing as a character that really has this terror of this unstoppable creature that's just if it catches you, you're dead. Period. End of story. You know?
Right. Well, here's the thing. So all of these topics, hopefully everybody in chat knows, I would love to spend an hour on each one, but we can't. But there's one thing about aliens. Now, I don't know if Reb's going to kill me here. So would you rather watch the new style Aliens, which is the prequels, or would you rather watch Alien and the original series again?
I think, honestly, if you're going to rank all of the Aliens movies, every single one, okay? Just like my wife says, the first one's the best and they get worse as they go on. Every single alien movie I've seen...
Prometheus goes downhill?
I think every single one I've seen gets worse.
Because I would go Alien, Aliens, Prometheus, then probably 3. I enjoyed Prometheus. I really enjoyed it. I know people hated on it, but I really enjoyed it. It was good.
Let me be clear about this.
Sure.
I will watch any of them. I like all of them. I like all of them. I just think in terms of what I like the most, yeah, the older ones are better than the newer ones.
Except for AVP Requiem, right?
I mean, I almost put the Alien vs. Predator ones in their own category, in a way. You know? Dude, it's like Terminator.
Sure.
I don't know if I love the Terminator movies. I love the Terminator movies. And...
Yeah.
People shit on Terminator Genesis, the most recent one. They hated it.
It's better than the original, in my opinion.
Okay,
the
that's the
Terminator...
end of our show. I'm talking to a sociopath who needs to be disconnected. What?
The original Terminator.
The original Terminator is a goddamn masterpiece.
T2 is the masterpiece.
No.
Yes.
No.
Come on, Rev.
We're going to fight. I'm driving to Toronto. You and me, we're going to fight IRL. Are you kidding me? The original Terminator is a work of art.
Can't stand it.
Here's the thing. Even Terminator Genesis, I tell people, I was such a big fan of the original Terminator that when Terminator 2 came out and it had all this amazing hype and blah, 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 I was one of the few people that was like, I don't really like Terminator 2 that much. And one of the reasons is because they establish canonical lore in the comic books and in the movies themselves that the only thing that can go back in time is living tissue. That's why they can't send just a Terminator endoskeleton through the portal. It has to be encased in living flesh, right? But the T-1000 is liquid metal. It only takes on the appearance of a human being. It should not be allowed to travel back through time. Okay, so when Terminator 2 came out, I was like, okay, I like this movie. I just have to accept the fact that fuck lore, fuck logic, fuck consistency. None of that matters because they're already breaking the rules in the second movie. Does that make any sense?
I understand. I understand. But as Doctor Who kindly put it, it's timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah. It's a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. You know?
Which I could spend talk about pugs. I got a whole showcase right beside me of Doctor Who memorabilia, top, bottom, left, right, center. Forget it.
Let me make this point before we go on to Doctor Who. That I always said, from the time that Terminator 3 came out, I said, you know what? I have a theory. And no one believed me up until they basically announced this in Genesis. Genesis confirmed my theory that I've had since Terminator 3. Are you ready? The movies in the Terminator series are not sequels to each other. Every movie in the Terminator series is a sequel to Terminator 1. Every single movie in the entire Terminator franchise, they're all sequels to the first one, but not necessarily sequels to each other. Terminator 3 is a sequel to Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Kind of. Basically, Terminator Genesis confirms the fact that that the Terminator universe is a multiverse where every single decision that's made creates a different, universe.
Yep.
Right, different timeline.
Right.
And that anytime you're watching any of these movies, you're just watching one timeline, and that's it. So every single movie in the Terminator series is a sequel to Terminator 1 and nothing else.
Until they make a prequel.
Well, I mean, that's what Genesis kind of was. Genesis does kind of go into prequel territory, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, old Arnold Schwarzenegger goes back in time to before the events of Terminator 1 because old Arnold Schwarzenegger meets young Arnold Schwarzenegger and beats him in the parking lot.
Wasn't that clip cut from Conan the Barbarian? That what they used for young Arnie at the time?
No, I think it was just cut right from the original Terminator 1.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they
could be.
And the funny thing, hey, Vampirial, thank you very much for the raid. How's it going, brother? One of the things they thought was so interesting is they recast all of the characters that are in that opening scene of Terminator 1. So, like, the three young punks, one of which is that famous actor now, but, like, he was so young in 1981 when it was filmed. Obviously, he's too old to reshoot those. They recast them, and it was really good. Like, they even recast the dump truck driver. I don't know. Whatever.
That's cool.
Whatever. Doctor Who. Did you want to talk about Doctor Who? Or I'll just say I didn't get into it until Tenet. And then my roommate at the time convinced me to start watching it.
We'll give you props on that one.
Yeah. I can even tell you the thing that got me into it. One of my pet peeves is when people misuse the word decimate. People say decimate when they mean devastate. Like, decimate and devastate do not mean the same thing.
Right.
They go, oh, it says in the dictionary, blah, blah, blah. No, decimate means to reduce by a factor of 10%. And there's an episode where Doctor Who is fighting the Master, and Master goes, let's decimate them, and he goes, yes, kill 1/10 of them. And when that, I was like, oh my god, the writing is genius. And that made me go back and start with the Eccleston and watch through the whole series.
So I got into it because of Matt Smith, who is the Doctor after Tenet. Now, what happened was I watched a couple of Matt Smith episodes, and I said, well, what's before this, right? Like, what? These references don't make sense. Who are the Daleks? Who is Cybermen? So then I went back to Eccleston, who was just before Tenet. He had one season. Billie Piper was the companion at the time. She carried on with Tenet. That's Rose. She's very, well known as the Doctor's companion. According to the lore, it's the only companion the Doctor's ever truly loved. It's a big deal because she breaks space and time to save his life.
Bad Wolf.
Anyway, yes.
She is the Bad Wolf.
She is the Bad Wolf.
Yes.
On Bad Wolf Beach.
I know. I know these things.
But going from Eccleston, he was okay. Tenet, amazing. Matt Smith's my favorite because he got me into it. The one that gets you is the one that gets you.
Yeah.
But Tenet is a brilliant actor. I mean, Tenet could have done 5 more seasons and no one would have batted an eye at it.
I agree.
Broadchurch, the Marvel show. He plays the Jessica Jones.
Right. He in Jessica Jones. Tennant plays
Season
the
1.
bad guy. Well, actually, he's also in season 2. Yeah, he plays Kilgrave.
Briefly, right? He's playing the visions in her mind. Yeah,
Right.
But he's amazing. And then I'm going to Matt Smith, who is on also the Majesty, which is a pretty prestigious show over there. Then came Capaldi, and yeah. Everyone said the same thing. Why he got even 2 seasons, I don't know. But the new Doctor, and Rev, you can tell me how you feel about this, is a woman for the first time.
I love it. I mean, there's no.
Let's go.
There's no reason not to. Like when the Time Lords regenerate, they have a new. Like, I understand that the Doctor has always been a man. I don't feel like it's a politically correct thing to make it a female Doctor. In fact, there was a lot of people who thought it was going to go female instead of Capaldi. A lot of people were throwing out different female actors that would have been great. And like, I hear some people go, "Oh, it's just they just want to be politically correct and make it a woman." No, I don't feel that. I've never felt that way about Doctor Who. Like, I think that Doctor Who is about the story and the character and whatever. And if it makes sense to have a female, one of the great things about Doctor Who is you can change it up every time it's a new Doctor. You totally change things. So why not?
So two things about this. In one of Capaldi's episodes where he's trying to save his companion, he's back, on the home world of the Time Lords, and he actually just turns around and shoots somebody and kills them because he's like, "How many regenerations do you have left?" And they said, "I don't know, like 15 or something like that." He just shoots him. Now it's a guy, an old general of the army. He falls. He gets up. He's an African American woman at this point, and that just regenerated into a woman, in front of them. So they alluded to it once. Now, secondly, anybody who was questioning this actress coming in, watch Broadchurch, and if she doesn't captivate you, you're a sociopath.
Sociopath, yes. That's my favorite insult to call someone, by the way. Like saying you're so disconnected from the rest of humanity, you're a sociopath. It's like
you have no emotion. You're devoid of all things life. Just it's so bad because in the Broadchurch is about this woman losing her son who's murdered, and I'm not going to tell you the spoilers in case anybody actually does want to watch it, but like you believe her every step of the way, and this is the new Doctor. Although I didn't like what she chose for her outfit because they already showed that, but yeah, she's doing the whole weird British trench coat thing. It's awkward.
So I think it was one of the season finales with Tennant when the Master said that line, and seeing that is what made me go back and start watching Eccleston, right? And then I was with it up until I think about the third or fourth episode of Capaldi. I'm like, I don't like this Doctor, and I tapped out, and I've been tapped out. So I've missed 1 4/5 of a season. Basically. Yeah,
he's got a lot of hit or miss. The final season that just aired, it's worthwhile watching. There's a comedian on there. He's kind of a stubby, bald guy, and he plays the second companion. He's worth it. Just his clips are worth it because he's just a goofy, funny guy. And the Master comes back, and here's the thing. So you got the Master, and you have Missy, who everybody assumes is the Master.
I thought that's who Missy was. I thought Missy was the Master. Regenerated.
The Master split himself into two people and regenerated. So now you have a male-female Master at the same time. So all the trouble they get into, and basically they're so evil to each other because
oh my God.
They're psychotic to start with because they looked into the time vortex. And the Master's always saying, "Do you hear the drums? Do you hear those drums? They never stop." And so you got two people like that, basically. But they need the Doctor, because the Doctor, they need him for everything.
All right, listen. We are almost out of time.
2 minutes.
Remember I told you how quick... Didn't it go quick?
Yeah, it did. It flew by. Because we like a lot of the same things.
We do.
Except for Terminator.
I still can't believe you don't like the first Terminator. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's like another top 5. So I have trouble picking top movies, right? But like I always say, like The Big Lebowski, Back to the Future trilogy.
Yep.
It's hard. Like I can pick a couple: the original Terminator, the original Alien. But it's hard picking out exactly. I used to have The Lion King in my top 5. I think that kind of dropped off. The original Ghostbusters, probably those would be my top 5, right? Let me just ask you this real quick question. We're not going to go into it, but maybe I'll have you back on again sometime soon, and we'll because this has just been so much fun.
Yeah.
Are you a Star Trek fan?
I am.
All right.
I am. Not original series, but anything TNG and later. Voyager is my game, though. I again, just the one that caught you. Janeway got me.
Yeah.
I love Tuvok. I love all of them. But TNG, I watch every single one of them.
Dude, I'm actually now rewatching through Voyager, and it's actually my least favorite. Voyager's actually
really.
No, I take that back. Discovery is my least favorite. But
Enterprise. Oh my God.
No, I like Enterprise. Enterprise is right there in the middle of the pack for me. So for me, it goes Deep Space Nine.
Go back to Quantum Leap.
Deep Space Nine. TNG right below Deep Space Nine. And then probably Enterprise and TOS are really close. And then then Voyager, then Discovery. Voyager, and you know what the problem with Voyager is? It's the writing. There were so many problems with the writing. It's not even the fault of the actors. It's just the writing. They had so many problems during the filming of it.
When 7 of 9 joins the crew, forget it. My heart is gone.
It does get a lot. Oh, so what I was going to say is I'm rewatching Voyager finally, and I promised myself I will watch the first little bit up until the intro of every single episode, and then if I know the episode and I know I don't like it, I'll just skip. I'm skipping like 3/4 of the episodes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is the one where Siska takes the ship. Skip.
There are a few skips, yeah. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, season 4 and beyond to 7 are great in my opinion.
I just watched the one where the Voyager gets quantum split and there's 2 Voyagers that are overlapped and one is like damaged.
Love it.
Dude,
Love
that
it.
one is so good. And then like
So
Harry dies in the beginning. Like I'm like,
well, I was going to ask you this. Okay, so very quickly because I know we're out of time.
Yeah.
But who is the character in Star Trek Voyager who has died the most times?
It's got to be Harry.
It's Harry.
Yeah, Harry dies like 5 or 6 times, right? And
Harry dies 4 times in total.
Well, do you count the time where he's in an alternate timeline and he gets sent back to Earth and he's living with Libby, and then he takes a shuttle with Tom Paris to rejoin the time stream and the ship blows up? But like, because I think he dies in that. It's just he gets shunted to another time stream, but like, I don't know, whatever.
I mean,
if you count potential deaths, right?
Potential. I mean, they
like
all died a million times.
Yeah.
The Year of Hell.
Yeah.
The Year of Hell. My favorite series of that whole thing.
Year of Hell was good.
Oh my god, the brutalization of everybody on that. It's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Now, if you've never watched an episode of the Palaver all the way through, then you don't know what's coming, so I'll explain it to you. And for everyone else watching, I'll explain it to anyone else watching. So we do a thing, all right? We do a thing, and then after the thing, we immediately say goodbye to everyone, and then we host into someone. So if you are not, wait, before I ask this, are you streaming right now? Are you gonna go start playing PUBG or whatever? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 5-minute timeout, and then I'm going to do some PUBG for about an hour and a half.
All right, then what we'll do is we'll just raid right into your channel, and then even if you take a 5-minute break, everyone will stay there. Everyone will drop you a follow, and then we'll all watch you play PUBG together. Okay? So we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing, and then we're gonna say goodnight, and then we'll raid into TheRealBaggins. Okay? All right.
Okay.
We're gonna do the thing. So the real thing. TRB, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful guest. We're going to have you on again because this has been so much fun, and I love you. And, everyone's going to go over to your channel after the raid and toss you a follow and hang out and watch you. It was a lot of fun. And so what we like to do to end every Palaver is we give you, sir, the final word. The last word to you, sir.
Exterminate.
All right, good night, everyone.
It's one word, right? Good night, everybody. Stay classy.
Palaver's logging out of the system.
Classy.
Please stand by for a raid on another Twitch streamer. Establishing connection now. Please hold.